This is home. 39 News starts right now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Beadle. Kylan Beard's attempts to steer clear of authorities have ended with his arrest. He's accused of killing 19-year-old Donnell Barbie Jr. in a shack near downtown Ripley a week ago. Ripley police say Beard also shot 2 juveniles and was wounded himself. Beard was taken to Regional 1 in Memphis before he was charged. He checked himself out of the hospital and managed to avoid police for 3 days. Deputy U.S. Marshals eventually made the arrest in Memphis. Beard was placed on the TBI Most Wanted list. He faces 4 charges, including first-degree murder, attempted murder, robbery, and illegal firearms possession. He's been arraigned in a Lauderdale County court. As many people celebrated over the holiday weekend, others protested the Supreme Court's ruling on Roe v. Wade at the Jackson City Courthouse. This was the scene on Saturday as hundreds showed up for a pro-choice protest in Jackson. Attendees claimed that the Roe v. Wade overturning was an attack on women's rights in Tennessee and across the nation. Some protesters we talked to said it's important to have their voices heard in Tennessee over this issue.
Tennessee is our home. Tennessee is where I was born and raised, and I love this place. I want to make it better for everybody. And that's one reason why we're all out here today, to be able to fight for our rights and be able to come together as a community to make sure that we're standing up for ourselves and we're not just going to let this minority decision take hold of our lives.
Well, I mean, we're out here in front of the courthouse, and as small as our town is, we're here to let them know that, we can't back down. I mean, because you see protests going on everywhere else, we got to have one here. We're in the middle of the Bible Belt, so we have to show our colors, or else we'll get swallowed up in this political world. We can't have that happen.
The third time was not the charm for Kay Jewelers in Jackson's Old Hickory Mall. Police say the store was robbed yet again Monday. This is the third time since April 20th. Employees told Jackson police that 4 black males came into the jewelry store and proceeded to do another smash and grab robbery. They used hammers to smash jewelry cases, and police say about $20,000 in merchandise was stolen. The 4 left in 2 different vehicles, a white Dodge Charger with temporary tags and a black Mercedes. If you know anything about what happened, please call Crime Stoppers at that number on your screen. Now that the budget is set for the City of Jackson for fiscal year 2023, council members took a big step today toward improving pay raises for employees. The decision comes after an extensive study of who makes what working for the city. 39 News' Steve Beverly reports.
If you work in public safety or any other department of city government, you expect to be rewarded for years of service and performance. You'd like to feel you're paid comparable to what someone else is in a city our size. That's why the City of Jackson hired an outside firm to study every job in every department. The idea is to build a more equitable pay plan. You have 3 important things about this pay raise compensation plan. Number 1 is to try to get all employees at least a 3% pay raise. Number 2 is to get them 15 different pay grades so their pay improves as they move up the ladder. And number 3 is being able to get them closer to the marketplace in other cities for the same jobs. Consultants studied not only pay as a reward, but as an incentive for retention. However, the project found that lower salaries aren't always why employees leave.
Pay is up there in terms of why somebody will stay employed with an employer, but may not even be number 1. It's the relationship with my boss, my coworkers, the work being performed, getting a chance to learn new and different things. Those are often just as important, not important than pay itself.
The revised plan will cost the city $1.72 million, and that money was included in the fiscal 2023 budget.
The goal, the target, hopefully the goal, is to implement this plan such that the July 29th paycheck, I believe, would include the results of this plan.
The hope of city leaders is that this will be a step in good faith in order to keep their best workers. In Jackson, Steve Beverly, 39 News.
Jackson has a new vice mayor. District 7 Councilwoman Marta Wallace was unanimously elected this morning. Wallace is currently serving on the city's Planning and Development Committee. But she says her pet project is the city's long-term stormwater management plan.
We have so many people that have sinkholes or roads. If we don't take care of our infrastructure, we can talk about Blue Oval City all we want, but until we take care of the means to get people to where they're working, that's what our main concern should be.
Wallace takes over as vice mayor from District 6 Councilman Paul Taylor. Downtown Jackson leadership is about to have a boost. The City Council approved funding for a new downtown development director. That new director will be under the umbrella of the CO. The job will pay $60,000 a year. The CO's CEO, Ben Ferguson, says this agreement runs for 5 years. The new director will be charged with leading development of new and existing businesses in Jackson's downtown district. It's just not the 4th of July if you don't have heat, cookouts, and of course, fireworks. And that was definitely the case at the McKellar-Sipes Airport yesterday. Since 2015, the Firefighters Freedom Festival has been a tradition on the grounds of the airfield. Madison County Fire Chief Eric Turner and former Assistant Chief Don Friddle created the event as a family outing. At least 3,000 people survived the heat index, which hit 105. Most of them stuck around for the grand finale, and the lights in the sky delivered. Chief Turner says he's ready to go again next year. Our nation's independence isn't all that people have been celebrating over the weekend. Jackson, in particular, experienced the end of an 18-day drought. Showers and thunderstorms have been scattered across West Tennessee. In North Jackson, a quarter-inch of rain was registered. That might not sound like much, but it was the first that people have felt in that part of the city since June 16th. Unfortunately, we're likely going to be under a heat advisory for the next 3 days. We'll have more on the weather coming up later on 39 News. What started as a peaceful July 4th celebration turned into yet another deadly mass shooting in America. A gunman on a rooftop opened fire on an Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois. Now a person of interest is in custody in the case. Bree Jackson reports.
A horrific scene in Highland Park, Illinois. People scrambling for safety after a gunman atop a building opened fire on crowds gathering for a 4th of July parade, killing at least 6 people and injuring dozens more.
Our community was terrorized by an act of violence that has shaken us to our core.
Someone destroyed countless lives. Community was shattered. A lot of people are grieving, and it will be a long time for this community to heal and recover.
President Biden again taking on the role of consoler-in-chief on a day meant to celebrate America's independence.
A slight moment of silence for all those families.
This latest mass shooting comes less than 2 weeks after President Biden signed into law historic new gun legislation following high-profile shootings in Uvalde and Buffalo. The bipartisan package included expanded background checks for gun buyers 18 to 21. Police say the person of interest in this latest shooting is 22.
But we got a lot more work to do. We got to get this under control. We got to get this under control.
The president vowing to keep fighting the epidemic of gun violence in the country.
The spread of COVID-19 is increasing throughout West Tennessee. 6 more counties in our region have been added to those already rated high for new cases in the past 7 days. Here are those new additions. Gibson County is one of them. The Tennessee State Veterans Home in Humboldt is now requiring visitors to wear face shields as well as masks. Also in the high category of COVID are Henderson, Chester, Benton, Decatur, and Carroll counties. That's in addition to 6 other West Tennessee counties, including Madison. Now to the shark danger lurking offshore this holiday weekend and some of the incredible stories from survivors who were able to fight them off and escape. Kerry Sanders has that.
Today, New York beaches along Nassau County reopened, but with an urgent message of caution. In a rare twist, a lifeguard here became the victim. 33-year-old Zach Gallo was mimicking a swimmer in distress, all part of a training exercise, when a shark bit his hand and left several sharp punctures to his chest.
As I was treading water, felt that sharp pinch in my hand, and as I pulled my hand close to my chest, I just started hammer punching the water and connected with the shark a couple of times.
beachgoers today, aware but undeterred.
I saw a notification on my phone, but I thought, you know what? Let's not let this scare us. Let's just have a good time today.
For perspective, records that date back almost 200 years show shark attacks are rare, the most happening around popular surfing beaches in Daytona and New Smyrna, Florida. Another minor shark bite there just yesterday. So while recent videos like this in the Gulf of Mexico are attention-grabbing, experts say the recent spate of attacks are most likely a consequence of more people in the water. Last week, 17-year-old Addison Bethea was snorkeling off the Florida Panhandle, hunting scallops, when a 9-foot bull shark like this one hit her right leg. Doctors say it will now have to be amputated.
I did go into shock and I passed out a lot, but I do remember it coming up to me and I didn't really freak out. Like, obviously I screamed for help.
Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Fort Lauderdale.
Your complete forecast is coming up next. And later, Freed Hardeman gets a big donation from a very special person. Stay with us.